episode of Spiritual Life where I talk about free will. When I was on my start of my spiritual awakening journey, I was reading the Bible one day and I was talking about free will. And I had an epiphany that made me cry, because in that moment I understood the true depth of my Creator's love for me. I had been given a gift of sovereignty. I was free to make my choices without judgment, without reproach, and to learn about who I am and determine for myself how I felt about things, what I wanted to do, how I wanted to be, and to be loved and held by my Creator. And seen for who I wanted to be. My Creator could have made me any way my Creator chose. But when I was birthed at the beginning of creation, I was given sovereignty as a creator myself, to create for myself, to choose my experiences, and to take what I wanted from them, and then grow through, and in so doing, grow through each life experience. And then I found out about lives, that I didn't just have one life. And even in the Bible, before it was edited, reincarnation was part of the teachings of Jesus Christ. We don't just have one life. We are eternal, immortal, transcendental, multidimensional beings. Which means that we are extremely ancient, but we never look a day over 30. Yeah, that's right. In heaven, when you get back, you will just go back to the age that you felt the most fittest. I secretly can't wait for that day, man. Can't wait. I am so looking forward to it. But I digress. Free will means freedom, true freedom. Your sovereignty as a being of the One means that you are already a walking master, because you were birthed from God. You are a copy of the original. And that's what our Creator in heaven always says to his children when they ask, who are you? I am the original, you are the copy. God made you perfect. You're already perfect. You are already all that you are supposed to be. You are a master. I am. We all are. And it's difficult for a human to understand that. And the reason being is the way society indoctrinated you when you were born as a human being. You had to learn. You had conditions placed upon you. In every area of your life, you had conditions placed upon your development by your parents, expectations. Society has done the same. As though there is a path of learning and path of growth as a human being, you then place that onto your soul. But your soul craves experience, not lessons for learning. I have often thought of this place as a school. And it is, in a way, because you are learning through experience. But your soul all experiences are wonderful because everything is a craving for a expansion of self. And we do expand in vibration, in knowledge, wisdom, experiences, and each thing that we learn and we value and bring back is enriching source, our God, creator being. Why? Because we're connected. And so every experience we have enriches our creator in heaven. So you are a sovereign being in your own right. That means that you're free, and true freedom comes when you understand that and understand that there are no expectations on you. There is nothing that you need to learn. There is no job that you have to do. Anything that you want, you can have. Anything you want to be, you can be. I, for a long time, thought I had a mission, and I did, as a general sense of purpose. Being a starseed, obviously, I did have a reason for being here. I chose to be here to anchor light at the time of the Great Awakening. Excuse me, I just got to wipe my lid. Oh my goodness. I don't know about you, but this time of year, I start getting nasal problems. This is like, oh. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. So you choose through experiences, and it is as above, so below. And so we are free in heaven to choose experiences for ourselves by planning a visit here. We in heaven, we'd make a life plan of things that, we might like to do along the way. But we are subjects of sovereignty. So therefore, we can choose to experience those things or not. It doesn't matter. You are free to do as you will. Your spirit guides will keep you on track and on path for the experiences that your soul desires to have. But your soul listens to you and knows what it is you truly desire. And so then, the purpose of our experience through our free will is to listen to ourselves. Centering ourselves with our higher self aligns us with our true self and purpose. We are the purpose. We are the reason for being here. You are your own reason. There is nothing you need do or be beyond that which you desire for yourself. This then makes it very easy and freeing for you to make the choices that you wish for yourself in your life. Free will means that you are not judged. Our Father, Mother in heaven loves us unconditionally. There are no conditions placed on your experiences beyond that which you place on them yourself, for you are a creator. Humanity has built conditions, rules, judgments, a prison, if you will, because you are encasing things, limiting things into perspectives that don't align with spiritual growth in the way that you intend when you come here. Things get skewed because we don't remember our sovereignty. We don't align immediately with ourselves. Now, children do. Children do it. They don't think, I'm aligning. They are naturally aligned. They have their gifts. Often, parents who are afraid of them will deny the child that that's real. They will start telling the child, don't do that. This is not natural. You don't. This is how we are on earth. You will conform. You'll get locked up. You'll get put away. These things you can't be. But children naturally are aligned with their creator, authentic self. they freely choose without feeling limitation. And that is why Jesus said, in order to enter the kingdom of heaven, you have to be like a child. Children are unlimited, and you, in your natural state, are an unlimited being. And so when you start limiting yourself, you are no longer practicing free will and true sovereignty and freedom, because you place limitations upon it. It's a mental and effective prison wall that you place yourself in. You're bouncing around off the walls in the end because there's too many limitations. Your soul does not acknowledge or respond to them in the same way because the soul is unlimited. And so you can cause yourself hardships through having to conform to limitation. And I think in many cases people get very despondent and depressed because of Earth's limitations. You feel as though you cannot manifest the things you want for yourself. You then start to believe that you'll never have those things. That in itself is a manifestation, because free will is honoured. Freedom in all things. There is no such thing as hell. There's no such thing as lack. There's no such thing as control. You cannot control an unlimited being. The only way you can do it is by making the unlimited being believe in those things, manipulating their free will, which is honoured by our Creator. So free will is a gift, and that's what made me cry when I figured out that God had given us this immense, beautiful gift of being able to experience whatever we wanted. And if you start judging things as good and as bad, then you start examining an experience in a way that does not allow for the full scope of that experience. When we go home to heaven, we always have a life review. And we get to experience the experience. There is always a control factor in terms of yourself and the way that you react after it. That is the extent of our control, is our own opinion on what we just experienced. We're sovereign beings. We have freedom and free will. Punishment, judgment, lack consciousness, need for control, fear, these are all human creations and limiting beliefs. Most of them were fed to humanity. We had a very different society a couple of millennia ago, and certain individuals have managed to learn how to manipulate the free will of creator beings in order to keep you from knowing and experiencing the true nature of your creation, in order for other people to benefit from you. Free will is always honoured, and it is a precious gift because it is free from judgment, because you are sovereign. Each of you have the flame of God within you, a fractal, if you will, of God's divine energy and presence in your beingness. Your soul is part of God, which was birthed from God to create you, which makes you all, in your own right, master beings, master creators, because God is the original, you are the copy. And so it becomes then, once you realize that you are in alignment as a creator, that you can align with your true passion, which will be your purpose. And your passion you follow for as long as it gives you joy. And then when that doesn't float your boat anymore, you can create a new creation. God does. God goes, oh, I feel like creating something else today. I'm just going to focus on making a planet. Whatever God wants to create, God creates. And God doesn't hold it in judgment. He says, my creations are all good. Not one thing is naff. Why? Because God is a master at creation. And so too are you. You can master yourself by aligning with listening to your higher self, your soul. Your soul knows what's best for you, what you love, what brings you joy, what brings you passion. And that you can be your own guide through the gift of free will. You are free. 100% free. There should be nobody telling you what you can do or should do. You should be free to choose. You can create whatever you like. And when people start putting demands on your time and your space, telling you what to do to your face, well, that goes against the whole tenet of free will. The more I have awoken to the truth of who I am and to this world, the more I feel like I've been put into a tight suit that does not fit me. I am feeling as though my freedom is being manipulated and taken away by those who claim they know better. And it's clear to me that these people only fear doing what they feel is right for them and doing it under the excuse that they were given your vote to do it. I did not vote for you to further encroach on my freedoms, to further pollute my planet, and to say that your policies that are affecting my life negatively were done with my blessing, because I didn't even vote for you. And yet I am now subject to your will through this very big lie, democracy. I'll talk more in an episode on that, because that's my next planned episode, is to talk about true democracy. So I think I'm just going to write that down, because I think we should touch on that. But getting back to free will, you can see that in order for there to be free will, you have to have non-judgment. God did not gift you on one hand free will and then on the other say, right, now I'm going to punish you if you make a mistake. That is a human who has written a story to ensure control. They want you to be afraid, because through fear you can manipulate a creator being's will and make them afraid to use their free will for whatever they determine, thus capitalizing on it and making sure that you become unable to exercise your power. And you truly are, each of you watching this, a very powerful creator being. But how do we then treat each other when we're sovereign beings? If, say, somebody does something bad. Well, in order to have experiences, one must become non-judgmental of other creators who are creating whatever experience they see fit in this form. Jesus says it best when he says, "Judge not, lest ye be judged." because you are judging yourself and your own creation if you judge another. Why? Because we're all one in the light, and our time here is a limited one in which we are free to choose and be whatever it is we wish. As a human, that is a very difficult one to come to terms with, because there is emotion involved, there is pain involved. It's also humanity has turned themselves in a way of justice is judgment and judgment is justice, as though the two go hand in hand when they do not at all. The actual fact of the matter is, the best way in order to get the most from your experience, even if you are on the receiving end of a negative one, is forgiveness. Forgiveness is a gift. It is a gift to yourself through self-love, to forgive yourself of your own perceived wrongdoing. And it's also a gift to others who have wronged you, or who were the one who did the wrong, to free them from the shackles of pain, persecution, guilt, lower vibrational energies that do not serve the self or the collective. Forgiveness is an act of self-love and collective love. When you forgive another member of our collective, the souls of the one, you do a great service to us all and to yourself. And you raise your vibration greatly through the loving act of service and forgiveness. It is better to free yourself from the shackles of perdition before even getting there. Because in the light, we don't judge. In the light, we are pure love. We are love in action. So, free will means that, yes, as a creator, you can choose in every moment, you are free to choose again. In every moment, you are free to change your mind and to go in a new direction and to create a new experience and to be a new person. You are free. Your will is free. You are not shackled to anything. You have no life mission because you are the mission. That's it. Just do. You are free to do whatever you feel called to do. Because I think when you start listening to your soul and your higher self, you will feel your calling. What gives you the most passion, what gives you the most joy, and that becomes your mission in the moment that you feel it. And you are free to feel without judgment. You are free to act without judgment. Only humanity limits itself through judgment. And that's part of the experience. But we are free to release ourselves at any time through loving action of forgiveness. And yes, some creators create monstrosities, and you can't appreciate the creation. You just can't, and you can't justify it. And nor do you have to, because forgiveness is not justifying it. It's freeing you from the shackles of having to carry it. That person who's done whatever monstrosity, it is the one that carries that action. It's their creation. They are responsible for it. And they will be dealt with by the light at the end of life. And it will be down to the life review and to God's judgment as to whether the soul goes on or is dissolved. That's what I've heard anyway. I don't know about dissolution of souls personally, because that would go against freedom, wouldn't it? I do firmly believe in karma. The karmic council, the karmic board, they do exist, and if you have done great monstrosities, you will be going before the board, and you will have to have that weighed, and you will need to balance the waves of impact that you've made as a creator on the group creation that is third dimensional reality. If you've done something in that space that has affected a lot of other sovereign beings, you yourself as a sovereign being will have to be held to account. Does that mean that it's justifiable to do that yourself and become judge and jury of another when we are all sovereign? I don't think so. That's why I'm with Master Jesus on that one, that judge not, because then you are yourself judging harshly and will be judged by the same measure. So it just doesn't pay to hold on to things. And I believe that true freedom is being a blessing and boon to yourself, to allow for it and free yourself from having to carry resentment, anger, fear, hatred, horror with you for a prolonged period of time. Healing is a wonderful gift to give yourself, and you're not doing it for anyone other than yourself when it comes to being a victim of a crime or any other kind of offence that causes injury. I believe that healing is a great gift to give yourself, and forgiveness is for the self, because it's a great act of self-love, and it lets go the energetic bonds that keep you tethered to the experience. It frees you as a creator to exercise free will and enjoy the rest of your life and your creations, because you're not carrying a heavy load anymore, and it frees your vibrational energy to elevate to a level where you are still able to have joy, experience passion. And I think as a society that's where we are headed, and that things will change. And I don't believe that a prison system will still be the same. We're finding as a society now that judgment and persecution are not paying off. People are still offending and becoming whole of life offenders through the judgment of creator beings. We're also finding that no length of time in prison is ever enough to pay for crime. And so then, what do? We can't keep on putting people away in greater numbers. That's not going to help us. And no matter what you do to another, it still won't heal the self. And so it is time to embrace who we are as sovereign beings, if we're so called to do, and to embrace forgiveness and non-judgment, because it really is freeing when all we have to do is follow our own heart and allow others, whatever the outcome is for them, to follow theirs. Belief and knowledge in faith in the higher power is where we are going. And I believe that God balanced all the books extremely well. And we need not worry ourselves about other people's actions when it comes to judgment, because everything gets taken care of spiritually when all the cards have been played. So truly, you can see how free will is a loving and wonderful gift, because you truly are sovereign, you truly are loved, and you truly are powerful. So, I think I'm going to leave this episode here. And I hope you can see now that you are free. And all of these limitations that society has placed upon us really are not honouring you or the collective. And I think with the fullness of time, we are going to awaken to the prison that this society has become and change it to honour the freedom of the people, the sovereignty of each individual, and free them to follow their passion. Because as a society, if we are to start growing in vibration and evolve, these things are going to be necessary. You have your free will, and I bow to your light and bow to whatever creations you wish to choose. Namaste, my darlings. I love you so much. I hope you've enjoyed the talk today, and I hope you feel as blessed and honoured as I do to be a sovereign creator being, a master, actualizing your true passions, your true purpose, and shining your lights brightly. Bye, my darlings. I love you so much. I hope you've enjoyed the talk today. If you did, then please do leave me a thumbs up. And I will be back with another episode where we are going to talk about democracy. I love you all. Bye.